present, or future, the City of Dillon has a rich heritage. Join us now for Down Home Dillon, where we will focus on our history, present accomplishments, and the future of our great city. Welcome to Down Home Dillon.
All right, welcome to another edition of Down Home Dillon. Today is Thursday, September 10th. Kind of rainy and dreary outside, but nowhere near as hot as last week. I mean, good gosh, I don't think I've ever had an entire week that hot. So get a little relief from that. And so we don't have a whole lot to say today. Mr. Glenn Wagner, Dillon City Manager, is out today. Had a death in the family. Want to wish him the best and thinking of him. So he will not be on any call-in today, but we'll wing it, see what we got, and go from there. We'll be right back.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Welcome back, Down Home Dillon today. As I mentioned, Mr. Wagner's not here today, so I don't have a whole lot to say concerning the business affairs going on at the city. I do know that, spoke to him the other day, the volleyball and soccer, I think the registration has ended and they start practicing next week. So that, that's going on. That's good. I know a lot of things have been canceled or modified to some form or another, but the volleyball, I think it's volleyball. Yeah, volleyball and soccer, yeah. Practice does begin next week. Another thing, holiday goodness, that's been a big draw for the city is kind of tentatively on hold right this minute. It's planned for November, but they're going to make a decision on that the end of this month, the end of September. Reason for that is the capacity limit in that gym with COVID is 250 people. And prior years at times we had a lot more than 250 people in that facility. So you should hear more about that going forward and where that stands. So hope it can be done. If there's a way to do it, they'll find a way to do it, and we'll see. So you'll hear more about that at a later time of what direction the city wants to go on that, how they're going to put it on. The one thing that's been good uptown every second Monday of the month has been the farmers market. Been going on at the water fountain on the South Plaza. I think they got another month or two of that maybe. Don't hold me on that, but I think they do. I think it begins somewhere around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Runs for a couple hours. It's right there, again at the fountain. So, we're filming today on Thursday, so it'll be this coming Monday they'll be out there. A lot of stuff out there, especially on the vegetables. You people like to get fresh vegetables. I know they have that out there and a number of other things that a lot of people are showing up for. Just something good to offer for downtown. Chamber does a lot with that. See Johnny Lures out there, Pat Laird out there with it just every time they have it. A lot of work that goes into that. So you might want to check that out this Monday. Listening to a little bit of city council meeting the other day on TV, and they were talking about the downtown. They have a group they hired called Benchmark Planning, and they put on a presentation, I guess probably 30, 40 minutes. Went down each block, they interviewed people, they looked at each block on the city, did car counts, made all kind of suggestions. They're still in the process of compiling all that data and bringing it back to the city. Really not a whole lot surprising that they told us. One of the more interesting things was Dillon has wide main streets, double lanes. They're thinking, one of the suggestions was to make it single lane. And of close one of the lanes on each side to generate more walking space, activities on the sidewalk in front of the buildings. But one thing about that, it's not an easy process to close off a lane of Main Street or do without it. DOT's involved with that and all kind of other issues you get into. So it's something easier said than done. They also talked a lot about the old ag building and what the potential that has. Alleyways. Surprisingly, on alleyways, they said, well, they look good. Sometimes you got to have them, but they don't like them because it's just a way to shortcut away from the front of your building. It made sense. Talked about the First Bank, being taken over possibly down the road by the city for a police station. Again, they said we were very blessed with all the municipal services downtown. We do have a busy downtown, believe it or not. They said many communities would have killed for the car counts that they have coming down Main Street every day here in Dillon. They were really, really impressed with that. Of course, they talked about the port, what the port would bring. Lack of housing around here, that's a problem, whether it's residential housing for families coming in or rental housing. Dillon hardly has any rental capacity here, and it's causing to be a real problem for people coming into our area temporarily looking for housing or what have you. Big opportunity there in the real estate side, I think, for somebody who wants to do it. There is some activity on renovation. The 100 West Main that I know very well, that I'm part of, is got 2 buildings there, 3 storefronts that's almost finished being done. Got a lot of interest on that too, by the way, already. In fact, I'm meeting with a fella today at 5:30 on it. So it just goes to show you, if you do something with your buildings, you got a product, people will come look at it and people will be interested in it. Good for you, good for the possible tenant, good for the city. So, that's real encouraged on that. I have more activity on those buildings so far than I thought. So they looked, each block, of course, not a whole lot has changed some of these buildings. There's been some activity. We've mentioned it before. So if you want to check that out on Hometown TV 8, listen to that presentation. I think, again, they'll do their final one in the next month or so, from my understanding, and see what they got to say. Camden does something similar, yet they use another outfit. They actually market for small business. I thought that was pretty incredible. I think they've had a lot of success bringing something in. Looking forward to hearing more of what Camden's doing also. We're taking a proactive approach to bringing small businesses downtown to these communities. With that said, we'll take a small final break. Be right back in just a moment.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Welcome back. Back to downtown and Main Street. We were really ramping up there, believe it or not, till this pandemic hit. Who thought this thing would go on this long? I didn't. Still think a vaccine's right around the corner. But it sure is stomping people's plans. That's for sure. I know the school's open this week. Dillon Christian School's been open for 2 or 3 weeks, and everything seems to be going pretty good out there. Get some questions on the train track. There's always a talk or rumor about the city taking over the depot station between Railroad Avenue and MacArthur Avenue. I don't think that'll happen. You never say never, but there has been talk of the CSX relocating their depot further down the track. I know other cities have taken the depot stations and made a museum out of them or what have you. Sometimes you got to wish, watch what you wish for on some of those old depot stations. But, I don't think there's anything to that in the near future. It may be down the road, but nothing that I've seen in the near future on that. Still, I think the city it'd be advantageous to the city to hire somebody part-time to recruit, even full-time. If you can't do it full-time, if you could get somebody to put 3 or 4 hours a day part-time on recruiting downtown, I think that would be a major asset. One gentleman, Steve Johnson, has done very well lately talking to businesses and had some success with that on his own time. So people, they want to see what you got. They don't know unless somebody calls them. So he's been making some phone calls and had some moderate to pretty good success with bringing people in to look. One gentleman from Mullins, they walked up and down Main Street, and he was here 2.5 hours. Got a fella coming from Florence Saturday. So, they see Dillon in a little different light maybe than we do. They see it with a lot more potential than we do. With the port. Port's been quiet out there. I know they really got the containers. They think they're doing extremely well on the containers. I'm back to the housing. I just think the housing's a problem. People want to come and they want to plant themselves here, live in Dillon, be a part of the community. Well, it's hard if you can't really find a suitable house to your liking. There's some out there, but not a whole lot. And again, back to the rental, there's just not any. I know this because I have 2 rentals and I have people calling me all the time. So it's just not there. So what they do, they take off to Florence or wherever else and they commute. And once they get used to living in Florence or Lumberton or where have you, that's where 9 out of 10 times, I bet, that's where they'll look to buy their permanent residence. They got to know the area, especially if they like it. They probably won't get up and move again. They'll just stay where they are. So the housing's been a problem. I don't know what to do. Somebody can come in here and invest in building an apartment complex or what have you. But, we'll see where that goes. Wow, you see the new spec building out on 34. Talking about a spec building coming up fast. That one really has. It looks to me about 750,000 square feet. Big one. Dillon has got that one. There's talks of another one. You got a lot of activity from an industry distribution standpoint out off I-95 and 34 area. That the Harbor Freight hub has caused all that in the port, and even Wyman Gordon seems to be working on all cylinders out there themselves. So a lot of things that are in the works off of Highway 34 and close to that area as we speak now, to cater to the port, to cater to Harbor Freight, Wyman Gordon out there. Just a ton of traffic, trucking out there, just unbelievable amount. So we hope to see that continue. I think we will. Don't think that's anywhere close to slowing down. And that's going to naturally bring people in. It's just a matter of how many of them you retain. What other small businesses come in to accommodate them, where they see a need to come into downtown to get a location, a building, to fix the building up. It's just a cycle for growth. and that's how you do it. If it weren't for the industry here, it wouldn't be done. So we're seeing some of that, and I always said you get a catalyst on Main Street. That's one catalyst. That's all it's going to take, and we'll go from there. Parking was a lot of talk on that study. They, believe it or not, said parking's not an issue. I thought we had a little bit of an issue on it. Some people make a major case about parking, but they said there was none. You want foot traffic downtown. Said we got enough parking. Everybody wants more, but they didn't seem to see where that was a problem. We got a new bank coming on the corner of Harrison and 301. There's some anvils in the fire here that's about to rise up. Some things I don't know what's going on. I think the county and the state commerce is kind of keeping some things close to the vest, and that's okay. Sometimes you want to keep things quiet. You don't need a whole lot of chatter out there of what's happening in your area and in your community. So with that, we're still kind of holding on this virus and see where it's going to go. I think people are getting out more. I see that. It slowed a lot of people down. I think people around here have been doing a pretty good job with it. I want to thank the police department here. It's done an outstanding job. I had to call them the other day on an issue in front of my office, and I just watched them for a while and how they handled it. Just handled first class. Couldn't have done a better job. So with that said, we're going to close today. Just be safe, be careful, and wish you the best. And we look forward to talking to you probably sometime in the latter part of October. See where we go here for the fall. And with that, we'll see you next time on Down Home Dillon.